Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate this opportunity to highlight to my colleagues what exactly is happening in New York City as a result of Joe Biden's manufactured open borders policy and the crisis that is created in terms of a migrant crisis in New York City. This morning, a lot of New Yorkers woke up to the news that 2 of our NYPD officers were attacked by a mob of migrants. It's outrageous to think that individuals who came to this country and claimed to be innocent asylum seekers would attack our police officers. That disrespect is unbelievable. But sadly, it is not the only time we've seen crimes like this taking place. Now let's remember, the individuals that are coming through the southern border are paying thousands of dollars to the drug cartels to be smuggled here. My mayor is further incentivizing this by offering housing, food, health care, education, legal services, laundry services, you name it. The taxpayers are paying to house those individuals who attack those police officers. But that's not all we're seeing happen. Let me show you a few headlines from recently. All in New York. An illegal immigrant bites off police sergeant's finger after a DUI, driving while intoxicated, bust. 4 migrants arrested for stealing more than $12,000 in goods from Long Island's Macy's. New York City migrant pickpocketing teams are the newest headache for the NYPD. Asylum seeker accused of killing another at Randall's Island migrant shelter. A migrant woman arrested after slapping an NYPD cop. Migrant stabbed by girlfriend in a possible love triangle. And migrants are behind the boom in New York City's red light district. Eric Adams, Democratic mayor, says. Democratic mayor is also saying that this is destroying New York City. We're seeing New York City struggle to pay for this crisis that Joe Biden, again, once created with his executive orders, 60 policy changes he made from the Trump administration that made our border wide open. And Chuck Schumer and the Senate refused to do anything. They refused to pass our bill, H.R. 2, which would end this crisis today. I called ICE this morning and I said, I want these individuals deported. The ones that are committing crimes like attacking our police officers, can we at least agree as Democrats, Independents, and Republicans that we should not tolerate that? But what also really concerns me is that we've caught hundreds of people on the terror watch list at our border. The fact that me, as a New Yorker from a post 9/11 world, that we have to question that there are 1.8 million people that have totally evaded law enforcement. In fact, Customs and Border Patrol union leader today told us it's probably more like 4 million. That's on top of the 8 million or so that have come, paid the cartels to come in here and claimed asylum. We're not even talking about those people who turned themselves in. We're talking about the 4 million gotaways. We don't know who they are, where they are, what their intentions are, and that should concern every single person in this body, particularly the President of the United States. TSA is allowing individuals to board planes without identification, like the American citizens have to provide when they board planes. They can use a detainer, they could use a warrant for their arrest, all sorts of other documents that are probably produced, by the way, from fake identification that they use to come over the border. That is directly against the 9/11 Commission recommendations. And the last thing I just want to talk about is that New York City is complicit because they are not complying with detainer requests. ICE is trying to do some of its job when these people commit crimes. NYPD arrests them, they release them back onto the street. Why? Because they're forced to by the democratic policies put in place by my city and my state. That's unfortunate. So now, when these 2 individuals attacked the police officers, they were arrested, but they were released back onto the street. They weren't detained to be sent to deportation. In fact, now ICE has to try to go out and find them with no cooperation from local law enforcement because Democrats in New York have tied their hands. That is unconscionable, it is unsafe, and we have to make sure that the Democrats here, the Democrats over in the Senate and the president stop playing with fire, because it's a dangerous situation. As you know, our ally in Israel is being attacked by terrorists. Iran is making threats against us that they're going to commit attacks against us on our own soil. We have them attacking American soldiers at 160 different posts in the Middle East. We saw 3 soldiers killed by Iran proxies the other day. And we're going to keep this border open like this? It's unconscionable to me, and I expect action from the Senate. And 1.8 million people, allowing them to continue to pay the cartels to come in, that's not border security. So we expect them to either pass our bill, Border Security Act, or pass something that's reasonable so we can have a real discussion and debate and seal this border and make our country secure once and for all. I yield back.
Thank you. I now